So get you a regular sized patient. This is brand new out of the box. This is how you set it. You're gonna raise the lower leg piece up to where that regular sized patient's legs are absolutely parallel with the floor or the table.
Okay.
And then you're gonna hit memory 1.
Okay.
That sets that height on number 1.
Okay.
I did the same thing for 2, these for a little taller patients. And then I did the same thing for 3, which is our big boys. And then I set it to where 4 is all the way down, but here's a trick on this one I want you to learn. You'll notice that this table goes almost all the way down. We don't want it to touch this little flexible pad right here, because
Okay.
that can interfere with the electronics sometimes. So just bring it down to where it's about a finger in between there.
Okay.
And then you're gonna hit M4 and that'll set it to that height.
Got it.
So every time you hit 4 now, it will go down to that. Now, that is undetectable by the patient laying on the table.
Mhm.
However, it's not causing that crimping of the electronics in here, so your table stays functioning. You won't have to reset it. 'Cause sometimes if an electrical storm comes along and shuts it down, you wanna unplug it and push both arrows for 10 seconds. It'll blink at you and then you reset it just like it'll do. See, now that's 1. 2, set it for higher. And 3, get you a big old 6'7" patient like we had in earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But see, he didn't even go all the way up. Some of these big football players, like the ones on the front of that magazine,
Yeah.
I mean, Big V, he's 6'7". His legs had him all the way up.
No kidding.
That's the only thing that helped.
What number
him.
was I on? 2?
No, you're on 1. Yeah,
1? Okay.
me too.
Yeah.
Regular sized people, 6 foot,
Like over 6.
usually
Yeah.
over like 6'2", 6'3" beat number 2.
Okay.
6'5" and above number 3.
Got it.
But then you might have to modify it. That's what these up down arrows are for.
Mm-hmm. You can kind of tell.
When you get the pins in is when you want to get up here and put the towel around there, and then that's when you look at the height. Up here is your last look at that, because you want to make sure the legs are parallel at all times.
Okay.
That's the key really behind flattening that lumbar spine out. See, when you flatten that lordosis out, you're not fighting that hyperlordotic muscle curve
Right.
with the bringing it to tension. You're bringing it to tension just strictly in that y-axis.
Mm-hmm.
And did you get it from the side view so you can see the
Yes.
parallel with that?
Yes, I did.
The main thing about doing this adjustment, get that towel wrapped around there tight. You're not going to choke anybody.
Right.
And then you get the grip all the way underneath the towel. See,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just your fingertips, or not just here or back on the occiput. It's the whole thing on the side. That gives you much better control of the force and also the velocity or the speed.
Mm-hmm.
So you just lean your weight back into, you'll see on my video, if you lean that weight back into it, you bring tension, that's when you hit it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stop and start again.
Okay.
Don't catch it from neutral. Bring it to tension, keep it at tension, and that's when you deliver the high
And
velocity.
it's
low impact.
bicep pull? Or
It's not as much arm as it is body.
Is it okay?
Your
It's all
arms,
at
your
once.
arms just facilitate a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a strength adjustment. This is really, if you do it correctly, this is a finesse adjustment.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you notice I was smooth on yours. I brought you tension, just hit it.
Right.
And it went all the way down both times.
I like that. I'm big on finesse. It
Yeah.
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's your innate.
Mm-hmm.
And we are big believers in innate intelligence here. Because that's your brain.
Right.
That is neuroplasticity.
Yes.
Your neuroplasticity is your innate intelligence
Mm-hmm.
running your body. That's what chiropractic's all about.
Yeah, I love that.
Cool stuff, huh?
Very cool.
All right. You have
Awesome.
any questions on any of this?
No, that,
What's number 4 do for you?
number 4 brings it down to where the finger.
Yep.
Right.
You go ahead and hit that. So you always want to bring the patient's legs down before you let them get up. Because if they get up while that's under, they can risk their back.
And you get them right out of those pins right away.
Right away, first thing.
Right away.
That's the first thing you do is get those pins out of there. Because that's the most uncomfortable part of the whole thing.
Right. Okay.
And now I usually help them up. And I tell them sideways, don't grab their leg and kind of swing them up.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get them on the right path. So you start doing all these things like this, you get up sideways, you lay on your back at night, sleep on your back with your legs up. Do your homework. Do your 10-minute brisk walk every morning before you get going. Those are things you can do as a patient that will accelerate your results and also make them last longer. Because this is all about changing your brain function to better regulate your core of your body function.
Right. What about elderly patients like osteopenia, osteoporosis?
I do not adjust severe osteoporotic patients. I'll adjust osteopenia patients and osteoporotic patients if it's not too bad. If they've had fractures though before in their spine, I won't.
Yeah.
If they've had a spontaneous collapse, compression fracture, I won't.
Right.
Although this doesn't really do bad, I have adjusted osteoporotic patients that had previous compression fractures, but they're chronic, they're old, and they're healed. That actually helps them, but I just don't give it that full weight into it. It's a modified ring dinger for that patient's constitution.
And then, do you get a lot of elderly patients wanting it? Because
We don't treat patients over 65 here
You don't.
because that makes them Medicare eligible.
Right. Right.
And I've been a Medicare provider since 2011, so.
Yeah. I imagine,
we just-
imagine they don't. Some of them probably like.
Well, they get mad at us, actually, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah. Well, that's age discrimination. Well, I'm sorry. Contact your federal legislators and talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Because if you're Medicare eligible and you charge them cash, you're in violation.
Yeah.
Even if you do the ABN forms, really.
Yeah. If you treat a condition that's not so. I understand it from the healthcare attorney that with Medicare you have to have a subluxation diagnosis and a physical complaint diagnosis. If you're only diagnosing the subluxation, you can do an S8990 code.
I don't even know what that is.
It's just it's an adjustment for wellness and prevention rather than the adjustment for the secondary condition.
I see.
Right, and so that's
But see, the way I take my notes, neck pain and back pain,
Yeah.
that's a condition.
yeah.
So-
And your coding is still subluxation, right?
Yeah, but we
even
just
still,
don't put
I wouldn't-
ourselves out
I
there.
wouldn't mess with
It's
them.
not worth it
Yeah, yeah.
for us to do that, so.
And they're
That's our office policy, really, is just, we don't treat anybody that's 65 years or older
Right.
because they're Medicare eligible or Medicaid eligible.
and many of them are going to have those other
Yeah, they're gonna have,
contraindications,
the
too.
atherosclerotic changes is the most common in the elderly population.
And also, like, a lot of them are going to have that in their aorta, right?
Possibility, yeah. I
Yeah.
saw one just the other day that
Did you?
one of our providers said to me, would you adjust this? No,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Because he had ballooning in the aorta, but if he had so much plaque in his aorta, you could trace it.
Yeah.
And well, if he's got plaque there, then can he have plaque in his carotid and vertebral arteries? Absolutely.
Right. Right.
Send him out for an ultrasound of the carotid and vertebral arteries.
Mm-hmm.
If they come back with the clean ultrasound of their carotid and vertebral arteries, I'll adjust them all day long.
And when you send them down there, do you send them? There's those specific ultrasounds that they do, like life screenings. Have you heard of that?
Those work, actually. They do work.
Or is that what?
Well, they do a Doppler, basically,
Okay.
ultrasound study of the carotid and vertebral arteries. We put both of them on there because a lot of them only do the carotids.
I see.
So we want both carotid and vertebral arteries.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just send a report back, patient does not have any plaque in their carotid or vertebral arteries and is safe for manipulation,
Right.
chiropractic manipulation. So that's pretty much clears you right there.
Yeah, that's great. I'm definitely gonna get on doing that for patients too.
So do you have any questions that you would like for me to answer on camera before?
No, I
shut
think
this down?
that was great. Those are great. That's great for me to read. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch.
There'll be a
those over
separate one
after.
on the table functions, right? Okay, good. Yeah,
Mhm.
great. Thank
Okay.
you.